hope you're having a fantastic day. Tina here, and I have an announcement to share with you, and I'm very excited about it. I am happy to be part of the LDRS Creative Design Team. If you're unfamiliar with the LDRS Creative Shop, I'll leave a link below where you can check out the fantastic items over there. But today I'm making a project using the Happy Fall stamp set. Cute little mice in there with some beautiful sentiments. So adorable. And then I'm also be using this die set. This is called the Scalloped Rectangle Die Set. It's an 8-piece set. So I love the daintiness of these dies, and so I thought it'd be fun to create a card with that. And I'm also going to use that stencil there, and I'll tell you more about that stencil in just a little bit. But LDRS has their own ink pads. These are mini ink cubes, and this is the Cobblestone set. It has 4 colors, and I kind of went through it real fast, but let me tell you the colors that I'm going to use Raven. It's the black ink. Since it is a hybrid ink, it's a pigment and dye-based ink. So if you want to watercolor with it, it won't blend or bleed. And then if you want to use your alcohol markers, the same with that. It won't blend or bleed. So I stamped my images, the cute little mouse holding the pumpkin and 2 smaller pumpkins. I'm going to zoom in and we are going to do some coloring. I'm going to use my Copic markers here. And I left the caps out for you guys. Now, I wanted to color in my little mouse with, instead of using cool grays, which I typically use for my mice, I thought I'd get, since it's a fall card, let's warm him up a bit with some warm grays. So I covered him first with my W0 and then adding a little bit of shading with my W4, and then I'm going to blend it all out with my W2. We're going to add some rosy cheeks with RV11. And then I thought it'd be cute to make his little scarf greens, and I got the color out of view, but the color that I'm first using is G94, and then I'll do a little shading with G99. We're going to color in his jacket with some yellows. We're going to start off with Y13 as a base coat. We'll do a little bit of shading with the Y35, and then we'll blend it out with the Y15. These images, like I said, are on the smaller side, so it doesn't need much blending. For my pumpkins, we're going to just use a couple oranges. I have YR04 and YR07. And originally I was just going to use those 2 colors, but I thought we needed a little bit more richness to my pumpkins, so I decided to bring in an R17 to do a little bit more shading in there. But that's it. Coloring was easy peasy. Now I'm going to add a little bit of white detail because the colors that I used are like a dull down since they are fall colors. So to make them pop and stand out, I'm going to go over them with a few white accents using my Uniball white gel pen. And you can see when you add white to a darker image, it just makes it stand out. So cute. Okay, we're going to zoom back out. I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut each one of my images out. And I did leave a little bit of a white border around them. Once they're cut out, we're going to grab that beautiful stencil. It's called Plaid, and I have to say this is probably one of my favorite stencils. The cardstock that I'm using is Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock. I'm just going to tape it down using some painter's tape here. And then since these are hybrid inks, I thought we're going to do a little blending with them. So I grabbed the Jewelry Beads mini EQ pack. It has Grape Ape, Olive Branch, Dandelion, and In Your Face Orange. I'm just going to use 2 of the colors today. I wanted to use the Olive Branch and the Dandelion. Now, I didn't know how well these would blend, but I have to tell you, I thought the Stress Oxide inks blended beautifully. I mean, easily. These inks here blended like silk. I don't know how else to explain it, but they went over that paper and that stencil beautifully, effortlessly. I am not even adding any pressure whatsoever, but I love the colors here. And I wanted to create, I wasn't upset that it was a little bit heavy in some areas, because with plaid you could get away with that. I'm going to do a little bit of blending with my olive branch here. At first I wasn't going to create a pattern, but I kind of did, and so I thought, well, I'll go with it. On two of those lines here in the middle, I'm going to do some heavy shading with the green, and then on the corners as well. But when I remove the stencil, you'll see how beautiful the stencil is. This is a mainstay for me. I love that white against that background. It's just gorgeous. I didn't even want to trim it down. In fact, normally when I make cards, I like to leave a little bit of a white border on my card base. With this one, I trimmed it down to 5.5 inches by 4.25. I want to cover my entire card base with that. Now we're going to grab these dies here. Again, these are the Scalloped Rectangle Die Set, and I'm just going to separate them. Now these are tightly packed together. When I used my nips, a few areas I couldn't even use them because they were tightly put together, so I had to use my scissors. But no worries, once you get them apart, they are fantastic. Well, I'm going to take two of the dies and create a frame. This middle one, sorry, the middle one here creates a beautiful panel. But I'll set that panel aside and use that for another card another day. But I wanted to use it to create a window in my panel. Next, I'm going to use this oval, and we're going to die cut that out with white cardstock as well. We'll run that through the Big Shot, and then we'll separate everything. You can see the detail in that middle panel, how pretty and dainty it is. But I'm going to use my craft pick, and we'll just punch out all these little pieces. You can see it creates a beautiful frame. And I think it's going to look great against that background. Next, we're going to take the oval here. Now there's two little holes on the left and right, perfect for brads or string or twine. So that's going to go right in the center of our frame. Before we do anything else though, I'm going to take my tape runner and we're going to adhere our plaid panel directly to our card base. We're going to make a side folding card today. So again, I'm going to cover the entire card front. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to take my frame. We're going to grab some foam tape. We're going to give this card a little bit of dimension, so we're going to line the entire back with some foam tape. Before we remove the release paper, we're going to doctor up our little oval here. So I'm going to grab some white polka dotted ribbon, and the little holes on the left and right are pretty fine, detailed, and so I wasn't sure if I'd break those little holes with the ribbon or not, because the ribbon's on the thicker side, but it went through beautifully. I just threaded it through the back, and then I'm going to secure it using the foam tape on the back, and I'll just trim off any of the excess. This way it's going to cover the front of my frame, and I think it's going to look pretty. Just a little something. Once that's trimmed down, I'm going to add some foam tape behind my oval. And after I did this, I thought, well, I didn't stamp my sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this directly to our card base. And I think I added enough foam tape behind the oval to stamp my sentiment directly on my card base. So my sentiment for this card, I chose Happy Fall. And again, I'm going to use the Raven ink. We're going to ink up our sentiment and stamp that towards the right here, maybe towards the left. No, I think the right's better. And it stamped beautifully. I think I got lucky. Now I'm going to add some foam squares behind my little images, and then I'll just kind of arrange them to the left of my little oval here. And I was going to call that done, but I thought I'm going to add a little bow. So I tied a bow with that same ribbon we used, and I'm going to secure it to my card with using some glue dots. And then that completes my project today. I'm so happy to be part of the LDRS Creative Design Team. Let me know what you think, guys. I look forward to creating more projects for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you a fantastic day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.